This is a young male screech owl. He's about 6 months old and was probably hatched this year. I have 2 large trees in my front yard, and in each tree I have a nest box. One nest box is optimized for owls, and one is optimized for squirrels. This is the one that's best for owls. It is a completely unobstructed opening. They can live in here and have a great view down the street, and they can fly in and fly out without any branches or leaves in the way. The other nest box in the other tree is behind a whole bunch of leaves and branches, and it makes it very difficult for screech owls to get into it. The funny thing is, this owl, who I call Indy, has been living in the other box for 5 weeks now. So while he visits this box at night, in the mornings, he always comes back to this box, and he'll spend the day in it. You can hear some blue jays screeching, and they actually chased him. Sometimes he'll hang out in the tree longer. For the most part, he hides in here during the day to be safe. This other box, which you saw him in at night, is often visited by quite a few different squirrels. The squirrels will come here and they will smell around to see if they can smell other squirrels, and they'll often also spread their own scent on the box. Right now the squirrel's on top of my camera, which actually has a cedar housing, so it looks very much like a box, and they like to hang out on it. This squirrel, I believe, is a young female squirrel, probably born this year. I would guess she's around 6 to 8 months old. You can see she's smelling around, and she'll also spend some time wiping her glands on the box to leave her scent behind. She really does. You can see she's investigating, and she's really interested in the other smells. Very often they'll sit there and they'll stare at the camera. I wonder whether they can see a reflection of their face in it, and that's of interest to them, or they just think the camera looks very interesting or strange. This is in the morning, and there's a nice breeze, even though it's already in the upper 80s at this time. We've been having really hot weather in Dallas. It's usually about 104, 106 a peak during the day. There she is, rubbing her scent on it. Back to the other box. We've got another visitor coming here. This is actually a mature male, and you're going to be able to tell that here pretty soon. I'm going to guess he's probably a year old, possibly older. And he hung out here long enough that you can see the owl can hear him, but is not too worried about it. He's just sort of listening intently. Meanwhile, this guy, he smells around and makes sure he rubs his scent on the box too. We'll see him later, around on the other box too. Okay, so here we are about half an hour later. Once again, the squirrel's up on the camera. The microphone's in the camera, that's why you can hear lots of noise. Here he is, jumping on the roof. And that was a female that just went running by. And you can hear him having a conversation. And 4 minutes later, the chase is on. And here there's no audio on this, but I think that's the female running away. And then if you look at the left, you'll just see just a quick little, the other squirrel just shows up on that tree right on the left, right there. Meanwhile, the other squirrel goes across the road. And I'll tell you, I'll talk about the my yard here. There was actually a drought, and I stopped watering this yard about 15 years ago. Anyway, so now we're back here. This is a female that I believe is nursing and has probably delivered her litter within the week, I would guess. And I think that was the same female that the male was chasing earlier that we saw. She's going to hang out here long enough that Indy, the owl, the screech owl that's in here, is going to like look to see what's going on. She doesn't normally do. Normally he stays in there, but this time either he could smell the squirrel or he thought that he needed to investigate. And you'll see him pop his head out here pretty soon. And there he is. He looks pretty intent. And I'm going to pan the camera over here to the right, and if you look really closely at the lower right corner, you can just see the head of that squirrel while she's climbing down the tree, right there. So she goes down the tree, and Indy here can actually see her when she goes down the tree and then in the yard, and he watches her for about 5 minutes. I've shortened this, but you can see he's looking at her really intently, and the next view will show her in the yard. And like I said, I edited this down because it's not that interesting, but I thought it was kind of interesting. But there she comes down. So what I was going to say about the lawn, hey, if you're one of my neighbors, I really apologize for this, but for 14 years, the grass was getting super hardy because it grew long roots, and because it wasn't getting watered regularly, it was actually surviving very, very well. But yeah, the crazy freeze we had here this last spring basically killed it. And so I will deal with that either next spring or late fall. So here in the evening, this is after Indy has spent the whole day. Usually around between 6 and 8:30, he will leave. Sometimes he leaves at around 6:30 and he'll jump in the tree, but he's going to hide in the tree. And I've gone out there with a telephoto lens. I have some videos of that where he's hiding in the tree under the branches, but he won't actually leave to go hunting until the sun goes down and it starts to get dark, which will be around 8:30 nowadays. And you can just see him down there in the bottom. You can see the top of his head or his back, and then he's going to move a little bit further into the tree so he's better hidden, and he'll stay there until he goes hunting. Anyway, I'd like to thank all the people that take the time to like my videos. I really appreciate that, and I hope you guys are all having a great day. That's going to be it for now. Signing off. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.